Basketball legend Bill Russell passed away this year on July 31st. Even though people immediately think of Michael Jordan or LeBron James when you ask them who's the best player of all time, we've got to say Bill Russell deserves to be among those names. Russell played for 13 years, yet somehow in such a short span, he managed to carve his name in basketball history. Let's talk about how crazy good Russell was.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First up, Bill Russell's legacy in the NBA. There are plenty of reasons to declare Bill Russell an NBA legend. The man won a total of 11 championships in his 13-years-long basketball career. He was the greatest rebounder of his time, and his defense strategies were pretty awesome. Russell's basketball career began in 1956 when the then coach for Boston Celtics, Red Auerbach, saw how Russell's incredible defense along with his rebounding skills were exactly what the Celtics needed at that time. But that's not all. Russell was the one who helped the U.S. national basketball team bag that gold medal at the 1956 Summer Olympics. Looks like his legacy doesn't just end in the NBA. He made quite an impact outside of the league as well. Then in 1969, Russell began to realize that with all that was going on in his life, playing basketball was taking too much of a toll on him. He quit the Celtics, and it caused a lot of uproar back then because no one really saw it coming. Still, even if it was a pretty short-lived career, the man created a ripple in the world of basketball, and we can't help but pay tribute to his achievements even now. What's more, he won 11 championships with the Boston Celtics. Like we mentioned before, Russell's legacy begins with how he led the Boston Celtics to 11 championships within a span of 13 years. He won 2 out of those 11 championships as the player-coach for the Boston Celtics. With these championships under his belt, Russell proved to players that they shouldn't take defensive strategies so lightly. Your team's only as strong as your defense, and if you've got great defense, you're able to take control of the game. Whenever you bring up how Russell won these championships, a lot of bitter critics end up crediting his wins to Coach Auerbach or to the Celtics point guard Bob Cousy. But that's incredibly unfair. When you look at the Celtics' history of championships, you'll see for yourself that they never actually made it to any NBA Finals until Russell joined the team. You can't ignore that and just entirely dismiss Russell's efforts in winning those trophies. We really do mean it when we say Russell was crazy good. In 1962, he didn't play consecutively for 4 games, and guess what? The Celtics lost all 4 of those games. Now, that should tell you how important Russell was in bringing home those championships for the Celtics. Coming up, Russell was one of the greatest rebounders in basketball history. The second thing we mentioned when talking about Russell's incredible basketball legacy were his rebounding skills. During his first NBA season from 1957 to 1958, Russell was able to gain more than 20 rebound points for every game he played, and he was the first player ever to accomplish that in NBA history. What's more, he didn't just average those 20 points once. No. He managed to maintain his record very consistently. Russell achieved the same average around 10 times in the 13 seasons he played in his basketball career. In one game, Russell grabbed around 51 rebounds. That's ranked as the second best rebounding performance in basketball, after the 55 rebounds that were grabbed by Wilt Chamberlain. In case you want to know, Bill's total rebounds are around 21,620 if you want to factor in all the games he played throughout his career. That is one terrific figure. And if anyone's got any doubts, even now, just know that Russell's still considered one of the most clutch players in NBA history. He participated in a total of 11 deciding games, and we all know how tough the pressure gets in these games, yet Russell was able to win all 11. Now, that is one outstanding record to his name indeed. Let's take a look at Russell's defensive legacy. There's no argument when we say that Russell was an all-rounded player. Even though he's mostly known for his tough defense, we've got to hand it to him. He was pretty much one of the greatest players when we consider his overall performance. But let's move to the focus on Russell's defensive legacy. Bill Bradley, who played for the New York Knicks, once admitted that Russell was basketball's smartest player. When it came to defense, no one could challenge Russell. He had a great basketball IQ, and his will to win was so strong that it rendered him pretty much invincible, if you think about it. Russell was so good when it came to blocking crucial shots that Wilt Chamberlain went as far as to say that his timing as a shot blocker was amazingly impeccable. There's a reason they call him the defensive powerhouse in basketball. Even though he didn't play all too well when it came to offense, he was still quite the force to be reckoned with if you're on the opposing team. Following up, Russell won a total of 5 NBA MVP. Well, now you know all that Russell accomplished in his short-lived NBA career. The man's accomplishments are bound to impress anyone, even if they don't know all that much about basketball. Moving on, let's talk about how Russell won 5 NBA MVP awards in his lifetime. If you don't know already, having that many Most Valuable Player awards to your name is quite a marvelous accomplishment in the world of basketball. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar currently holds the title for the most MVP awards. Second to him, we've got Michael Jordan and, of course, Bill Russell. Objectively speaking, Russell's an amazing basketball player. To attest to that, we've got how he was declared the greatest player in the history of the NBA by the Professional Basketball Writers Association of America in 1980. Not to mention, the man was named Sportsman of the Year. Owing to all his achievements, Russell was crowned Sportsman of the Year by Sports Illustrated in 1968. But that's not the only title the legend has to his name. He was ranked 18th on ESPN's list of 50 greatest athletes of all time back in 1999. Even though Russell quit playing basketball in 1969, his legacy left a mark in the NBA. Years later, he was still remembered as one of the best players the NBA ever saw. Up next, what other people have to say about Russell's legacy in basketball. A lot of people have much to say about Russell and the way he played basketball. Perhaps one of the many reasons why Russell's considered so crazy good is how he played at a time when racism and bigotry were still rampant in the world of sports. Despite all of that, Russell stood his ground and maintained his basketball legacy. He was steadfast, and that's what we admire about him the most. Don Nelson, a former NBA player and head coach, defined Russell as the kind of player who didn't focus too much on bringing the spotlight to just himself. Instead, the way Russell played kind of made the players around him look better. While Russell could come off as incredibly cold with how he refused to engage with the Celtics fans, his teammate Tom Heinsohn rebuked all negative criticism of Russell by saying that no matter what you say, it was Russell who swooped in and got the Boston Celtics a total of 11 championships. No one on the team had ever managed that before. Russell was so great at what he did that back in 2009, NBA Commissioner David Stern announced that they're naming the NBA Finals MVP award after Bill Russell. Yeah, there's no doubting Russell's basketball legacy with all these accolades under his belt. Finally, how Russell's one of the greatest players of all time. And there you have it, all the reasons why Bill Russell was such a crazy good basketball player. From Wilt Chamberlain to Coach Arbach, everyone in the world of basketball can attest to the fact that Russell brought a great deal of skill and talent to the team, and without that, the Celtics may not have snagged those 11 championships. To sum it up, we believe that the way Russell won so many championships for his team and how he played so beautifully when it came to defense, he deserves a spot right up there with the likes of basketball giants Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Sure, Russell didn't have any legendary moves to his name, but he played the game incredibly well. There's zero doubt about that at this point. His rebounding scores and then how he gave his opponent such a tough time with his defense, they're all things that made it quite a delight to watch Russell play. That's a wrap for this video. Do you want to know more about Bill Russell's basketball legacy? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.